Hey everyone, welcome to another tutorial we've got. Today we're going to look at the PQC Lab in the Azure Marketplace. And I'm Sven, and we've got Alex Gregory here from the Marketplace team to tell you what we've got there.
Yeah, so what we built for you is a PQC Lab. So if you go into the Azure Marketplace and search for Key Factor or even PQC Lab, you will find this product listing. In that product listing is a test drive button. And what that does is it launches an EGBCA Enterprise instance that allows... straight to the moon. That allows you to run EGBCA Enterprise with fully configured PQC certificate authorities, profiles, and enabled preconfigured and enabled enrollment protocols.
So you're saying I don't have to do anything?
You don't have to do anything.
I can just be able to use this without having to configure anything.
Yeah, and the great thing is that when you launch this, it lasts for 30 days. It fully runs in a Key Factor Azure tenant, so you pay nothing. No EGBCA license fees, no instance costs, nothing. You get up and going really quick.
And if I want to export my configs before the 30 days, can I do that?
Yeah, sure, from the UI. Anything you can do from the UI.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Sven's going to run through a demo here. He's got several enrollment protocols. All of this information that he's going to run through, he's going to run through a demo using several enrollment calls, such as REST, the REST API, ACME, EST, which are all different protocols to be able to enroll certificates. All of this information is in a guide that is attached to the Marketplace listing, and it's also on the Key Factor website.
Cool. And for those that don't know, EST and ACME are a part of our enterprise version of EGBCA. And to give a little bit of background on that, like REST API we'd use for anything protocol agnostic to get a certificate. Then we've got ACME, which is good for TLS certs. And then we've got EST, which is really just a jack of all trades to just quickly get certs over an API. And it's extremely simple to just use curl and submit your CSR up and get a cert. And we'll be able to show you how to get lithium certs out of all of these examples today.
Yeah, and if you are familiar with EGBCA community, this is a great way to get some exposure to EGBCA Enterprise to see the differences between the two.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. So without further ado, let's hop into the tutorial. So we'll start with the web browser here, and we're gonna go to the RA web, and we'll accept the cert because it's using the management CA self-signed cert. And we'll pull the credential down with the password and username that was created when you actually launch the sandbox. So we'll type in here the admin with the little number on the end of it and the password.
And this is the password that was provided to you in the Azure Marketplace. So once your test drive started, it'll have a countdown window, and that username and password is the one you use here.
Yes, exactly. And then we'll do RSA 2048 and click download the PKCS12, and that'll be in our downloads directory. And then we can go and open up the settings. So I can remember where it is. There it is. And then we'll type insert, and then we'll hit the view certificates. And we're going to import that P12 into the browser now so we can authenticate with admin web and do the MTLS there to connect into it. And we'll go locate it and click OK. And then put in the password, same password that we used to enroll for the credential. That's also for the P12 as well. Click OK. And now we can go over to the other tab where the RA web is, and we'll change the last part of it from RA to admin web. And use the certificate we just installed. Click OK. And now we're in. So we can see that we have a root and sub to Lithium CA, and it's EGBCA 8.2. So now we can hop over to the landing page we have on this instance. And this will allow us to download the PKC or the EGBCA CLI. So we're going to download this zip file. This has the CLI in it to be able to create post-quantum CSRs with Dilithium. And it does require you to have Java installed already. So that's already installed on this machine that we're demoing on. And so we download the zip and CD over to the downloads directory that we're in, and we're going to unzip that file. All right, we got that. And then we can see that's unzipped now with the directory EGBCA-CLI. We can clear the screen. And then we'll start out with the EST protocol. So we'll make a new directory called EST, and then we're going to CD into that. And then we're going to generate a CSR first. That'll be the first part that we do. And so with EST, we generate the CSR, and since this is generated in PEM, we're going to convert that over to DIR encoding, because then we have to actually send it up as a base 64 blob with EST. It's kind of fun where you bounce around between all this DIR and PEM all the time. So now we've got that, and then we're going to actually pull down the CA, actually we're converting it first, then we're pulling down the CA cert now, and then we did the enrollment, and then we're going to convert our enrollment back to from base 64 to dir, and then we'll be able to decode the cert and look at it with OpenSSL when we're done. So let's get the last few commands in here. There we go, paste that guy. There we go, now we have our cert. Look at the huge key on these things. And then we can see this was our EST enrollment here. And obviously OpenSSL still doesn't know about the key algorithm yet. That's why they're showing that. And then we can hit CD and go up one directory, clear it out. Now let's do a new directory called ACME, and then we're going to CD into ACME. And it's pretty much the same procedure here. We're going to generate a CSR with the lithium again, and our FQDN, and a subject alt name this time in the CSR. And then we're going to SCP that up to a host I have over in AWS that has the certbot client on it. And then we'll SSH up to that server. And then we will kick off the enrollment. And let's stop and explore that for a minute here. So what we're actually doing is using a dilithium CSR with certbot, which means we don't have to do anything special with certbot to do post-quantum crypto enrollment with ACME protocol. We can use the standard tool out there by just providing a CSR with dilithium and getting a cert. So I think that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
like,
very cool.
Nothing needed for that. It's pretty sweet. All right, let's carry on here. So then we got our certificate successfully. And now we can parse that, and another huge key blob, and we can see that it's got the FQDN now instead of a PQC test name for the DNS name that we had to enroll with for the ACME validation to properly work and get the certificate. Okay, then we'll exit out of our SSH session and CD back up to the root directory of our downloads and clear the screen. And now we're going to wrap up with REST. So we'll make another directory for REST, and then we'll move our little REST script we have in there, and that's actually in the Keyfactor community repo that we did a video on previously about using the API in community. And then we're going to download the management CA cert from our instance in Azure that we use for the curl connection up to it. We'll generate our CSR, and then we'll be able to use the script now to send our CSR up to the PKCS10 enroll endpoint. And we've got our cert there and parsing with OpenSSL. There we go, and we can see that this one went over REST with the DN that was issued there. And then we'll end up scrolling back down here and CD up one directory, and we can list to see how we have our files in here that we just had the P12, we've got the CLI, and we created some directories for the housekeeping. So really simple and straightforward so far. Then we can hop over to the web browser and go to admin web, and then we'll go over to the RA web, and we can go do a search for certificates. And then we can see, they're typing PQC here for some of the names, and we can see the ones we just issued. And it's that simple to do PQC over protocols with eGBCA in the sandbox that Alex put together.
Yeah, so one of the things to note here is that all of this information that Sven just went over, you can obviously, you're watching this video and you can follow along with the video, but all of this will be in an eval guide. So attached to the product listing in the marketplace, as well as links on our website, you can get all of this information. We'll have all the commands in a guide for you. You can mostly copy and paste a lot of this stuff. So, and just kind of fill in the variables for your setup.
Yeah, keep it easy. All right, guys. Well, thanks. We hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.